Sorry. Okay. Connolly, Gumarov, Hamid, Kaufman, Rudy, Gaudio, Metellus, Rose, Ravi, Hall, Atohaj, Chauhan, Escobar, Naguib, Wanjan, Johnson, Patel, Weiderberg, Green, Hendry, Alcuda, Benesh, Condoloro, Colazo,
Present.
Rodriguez,
Present.
Benwick,
Present.
Jimenez Bolero, Hashimi, Janadra,
Present.
Pullman,
Present.
Renda, Richmond, Shen, Varela, Vasquez, Lipner. 39 out of 51, quorum is verified.
All right, approval of the minutes. Everyone go ahead, take a look at last meeting's minutes. And is there a motion to approve last meeting's minutes? Any objections? Seeing none, last meeting's minutes are approved. Approval of the agenda. Everyone go ahead, take a look at this meeting's agenda. And is there a motion to approve this meeting's agenda? Any objections? Seeing none, this meeting's agenda is approved. Open forum. Is there anyone wishing to speak in open forum? There is. All right. That's Stephanie Henriquez.
Hello, everyone. As Assistant Supervisor of Elections for the 2023 to 2024 and 2024 to 2025 executive sessions, I've had the opportunity to learn and to lead. Since I will be graduating at the end of this semester, I felt it appropriate to voice my concerns about the future for the Election Commission. A common question that I'm asked is, what do you guys do in the fall semester? So it has been brought to my attention that the student government consensus is that the Election Commission solely operates in the spring as we near closer to hosting the election. In the same way that this is not true of the Federal Election Commission nor the Florida Election Commission, it is not true of Student Government's Election Commission. Title VI is one of, if not the densest documents within the Student Government Constitution. Accordingly, the fall semester is an integral part in training and educating the election commissioners on their 601.4 duties. For example, knowing the full procedures involved in a violation hearing in order to appropriately sanction violators. Additionally, the fall semester has more availability for rulemaking and regulatory updates. In the status quo, I have completed this process last year with the former Attorney General and this year with the Chair and Vice Chair of ENA. I recommend that this responsibility should extend to all commissioners. And most significantly, public outreach is a great way to establish a baseline for voter knowledge for the spring semester, which can be accomplished through tabling events. There's more work that the Election Commission can do for the fall semester on top of current work surrounding marketing, events planning, and internal affairs. The Election Commission is here to serve the 69,000 students of this university by preparing an election that is fair and representative of the student body. Therefore, I feel a little jaded when I hear the twig and branch dichotomy used to separate our work from that of everyone else in student government. Last year, we educated 58 senatorial candidates and 1 presidential ticket about their duties and responsibilities per Title VI. This year, our commission had a 60% retention rate, which is the highest it has been within the past 3 years. Currently, commissions are working behind the scenes for future cross-branch collaboration opportunities with every branch. There is work to be done, so it is entirely your choice whether or not you want to acknowledge that fact. Now that the Chamber understands our work a little bit better, I think it's time that everyone is held accountable. How can the Election Commission expand as an entity within student government and effectively engage the student body if my team does not have a designated space within the office as per 601.4 F1? And in what capacity can I be an efficient leader if the branch heads cannot reciprocate my respect for them when they do not respond to my emails about initiatives aimed at helping both my commissioners and their branches, who in turn help the UCF student body? The time is long overdue to treat the Election Commission as an independent entity that is welcome within student government. It may not have been something that I was able to do within my time as a leader in student government due to the aforementioned reasons. Nevertheless, I envision the future of the Election Commission will include an environment where individuals feel empowered to educate the student body and accepted by other branches. After hearing my perspective, I hope you understand the vitality of the Election Commission and that we all kind of need to collaborate together for the future of the Election Commission within student government.
All right, is there anyone else wishing to speak in open forum? All right, seeing none. Announcements from the student body president, President Lister.
Got it. I wasn't able to put these in the minutes yet, so I'll probably email them to you after, Maddie. Hey, Senate, hope you all had a great week. Tonight we have our big Winter Wonderland event that's on Memory Mall, so I'm going to try to make this short, and hopefully you can all have time to recess and make it out. Monday, myself and Vice President Brawley met with the RWC to discuss new equipment that should be coming to the RWC soon. Also on Tuesday, myself, Vice President Brawley, and Governmental Affairs Coordinator Polera met with Gray Robinson, who's our lobbying firm, to discuss the impact of the general election on UCF and upcoming legislation that we might lobby for in the state legislature. I also will hereby appoint Jessica Vitarelli to serve on Election Commission Seat 7 and Zoe Rubin to serve as a senator for the Rosen College of Hospitality Management in Seat 1. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great Thanksgiving and winter break, and see you all for our cram events that will come during finals week.
Any questions? Takara.
I'm asking this because unfortunately it's not here, but also I've been busy the past days. After the judicial review, I overheard SGL Sears describe that your deputy chief of staff described the judicial review as the branches were fighting, and in her initiative when she was going for cabinet that she wanted to foster cross-branch relations. Do you think that's appropriate?
I will speak to her about that. I'll speak to Christine about that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Collazo.
Could you explain the thought process in choosing Vice President Brawley as a representative in the judicial review hearing instead of the Attorney General?
So I was originally going to do it, and then we found that John had little time limitations, so we felt that Vice President Brawley would have the most time to be able to help prepare an argument. Myself and John, or Attorney General Polera, did help him in create that argument, but it was just for us who was most available and also who we thought would be a best speaker.
Any further questions? Varela.
Yeah, about your meeting with Gray Robinson, is there a reason why leadership of the Governmental Affairs and Policy Committee weren't informed about this meeting that is pretty integral to like policy initiatives in the future?
We were invited by our representatives from Gray Robinson. In the future, I'll make sure to ask them if we can, bring members from the GAP committee.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none, thank you.
I'm going to be doing all four.
All right, announcements from the student body vice president given by President Lister.
All right. He said, good evening, Senate. This week, I met with Career Services to continue pushing our alumni showcase event. He also mentioned we met with the RWC to talk about the R&R accounts and plan on what equipment updates are coming next on both the main and downtown campus RWCs. we met with Gray Robinson to discuss recent election results and how that'll affect the local politicians that we interact with. On Wednesday, I also met with Assistant Provost Tim Letzering to finalize emergency response instructions in the syllabi, as well as Mark Gumbel, who's the Vice President at Student Success and Wellbeing. He oversees the testing center and their financial needs. And then he said, today I met with Dr. Guzman to discuss initiative plans for next semester, as well as plans for the Interfaith Council. And then today also ADSB met as well. Have a nice evening.
Any questions regarding that report? All right, seeing none. Oh, you have one? Or Lipner?
Yeah, could you elaborate on what you discussed with Gray Robinson as far as what we should be discussing looking forward in terms of policies?
So we really just talked about which state representatives and state senators were, maybe swapped out, who won and who lost, and how that affected UCF. Really, as far as to Gray Robinson is concerned, it didn't. Am I too close? There weren't really anybody that's not going to support UCF in the future. In fact, a new, I believe, state senator is a UCF alumni, so they think that we'll be, talking to that state senator more often now because they're a UCF alumni. They're also a legislative scholar, so that'll help.
Good enough.
So, to the best of your knowledge, can you elaborate on kind of what the Interfaith Council will be and what they will handle?
So that's been, I believe that was around 2 years ago, or at least before then. That was started by the Ginsburg Center to just try to, how do I put this? Between different, we'll say religious students, just to create a collaborative environment between them. They would maybe only host events every once in a while. The way that, at least I asked Brawley about that meeting today, since I wasn't there, he said that Dr. Guzman wants to see it return, and we do as well. And I know that Jasmine, our diversity and inclusion coordinator, is working on that right now. It's to connect different students from different religions and maybe religious organizations, such as, let's say, the Muslim Student Association or UCF Hillel, to create education programs so that, more students are just more educated about other religions that they may not prescribe to.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none. Comptroller's report.
Okay. She said, happy Winter Wonderland. Sorry I'm not at Senate. Since funds are starting to run low, we are making some changes to our fiscal policy with CRT Chair Kringle, and we'll talk about this in his report. She said, have a good break from Senate and good luck on finals. See you all around the office. And then for the FAO balance, I believe that's the first number, is $125,857.82 with a 0.65% reversion rate. And for the CRT balance is $89,862.19 with a reversion rate of 1.48%.
Any questions? All right, seeing none. Attorney General's report.
John didn't really have anything today, so he just said to, enjoy the break and hope you all had a great week.
All right, that was your last one?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Oh, any questions? All right, thank you. All right, Cabinet Forum 9, announcements from the Chief Justice. Chief Justice Rivera.
Hello, Senate. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. The judicial branch has wrapped up our initiatives for the semester, and we had our last general council meeting yesterday. I also wanted to thank Chair DeCara and Vice President Brawley for their participation in yesterday's judicial review hearing, and I will deliver the opinion of the Judicial Council as we finalize our drafts. That's it for me. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Any questions for the Chief Justice? All right, seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, announcements from the Supervisor of Elections, Supervisor Brown.
Hi, Senate. I hope everyone's doing great tonight. As we come to the end of the semester, I'm going to provide a summary of what the commission has accomplished this semester. It was off. Thank you. Do you want me to start from the beginning or? Yeah, okay. Hi, Senate. I hope everyone is doing great. As we come to the end of the semester, I'm going to provide a summary of what the commission has accomplished this semester, along with a few updates for y'all. The commission now has 3 working committees with an event, marketing, and socials team, all of which have already begun accomplishing their various duties. For those of you who don't know already, our theme this year is officially Carnival, with a tentative slogan of Step Right Up and Vote. As a commission, we hope the scene will be interesting enough to attract new candidates, while still being an easy theme for candidates to work with if they choose to. Me and Stephanie have been working with a variety of individuals from executive and legislative branches to prepare for the upcoming election in any way we can. I am beyond pleased to also announce that multiple commissioners have been actively involved with caucuses this semester. As we are about to enter the next semester, when many of you will be running for office again, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or anyone on the commission, both if you'd like information regarding Title VI, the election statutes, or if you'd just like to get to know one of us. Thank you.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, thank you. All right, announcements from the Activity and Service Fee Committee Chair, Kringle. Kringle isn't here, either is Wanjin. So I'll just read it out. Didn't meet last week, but still working on our outreach and prepping for the budget hearings Wednesday. We had great tabling with SBA and SGLC, so thank you to everyone who helped us out with that. Hopefully next week we'll have our ANSF info video out on Instagram. Any questions? All right, seeing none. Announcements from the Scholarship Committee Chair. None. Caucus reports. APIA Chair Lim, given by Hashmi.
Hello, everyone. Chair Lim could not be present today, so I will be reading her announcement. Hi, everyone. Happy last Senate of the semester. We met on Monday discussing our plans for the spring semester. If you're interested in joining, please fill out this one to me. Thanks, everyone.
Any questions? All right, seeing none. Black Caucus Chair Metellus.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. So sorry that I had to miss last week. I wish you all the best of luck on your finals and studying, and a happy holiday. Black Caucus met this week and discussed our Black History Month initiatives. We have communicated with Aramark, and they have agreed to include Black-owned restaurants on Local Restaurant Road during the month. I'll be meeting with them in January to discuss promotional material. The Spring Black Business Showcase also has a set date of February 27th. The time is still to be determined. Registration forms and promotional material will be released before the event, and we will also be seeing the Juneteenth resolution that Black Caucus member Chair Johnson has been working very hard on later tonight, and that is all for now. Thanks, guys.
Any questions? And congratulations again to Chair Johnson. I've been getting those updates all semester and been checking in with you. So everyone, I know you're about to have your report, but she's been making headway with that. Any questions? All right, seeing none. Disability Caucus, none. Latin Hispanic Caucus, Chair Jimenez Valero. I don't think she's here. Vasquez.
Please fill out the when to meet for the salsa night that Chair Jimenez Valero wants to do come spring semester. It's more of a bonding night, so just fill it out whenever you can so we can pick that date. We didn't meet last week, but we are meeting tomorrow. So yeah, we'll update when we come back. Thank you.
Any questions? All right, seeing none. LGBTQ plus caucus Chair Benesh.
Hi, everybody. Happy last meeting of the semester. LGBTQ caucus met today to discuss future proclamations and events for the spring semester, so look out for that next semester. If you're interested in joining the caucus, please fill out our when to meet for the spring here. Thank you.
All right. Any questions? You're not a committee member. Sorry. All right, seeing none. Military and Veterans Caucus Chair Collazo.
Hi, everyone. Be on the lookout for Wednesday Person Journals chat. Hopefully, I get more members. Hopefully. And I have 2 internal bills to get remanded tonight. That's it.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, Women's Caucus Chair Lazo.
We didn't really have any business, so we didn't meet and expect a when to meet in the coming days.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, Arab Ad Hoc Caucus Chair Al-Quda.
Hello, Senate. Today I attended an event hosted by the Senior Coordinator for the Middle East and North Africa within UCF Global. I'm extremely excited to continue to build this relationship and others created this semester to further our connection to the Arab community. Tonight, we will also be seeing Proclamation 5624 to recognize December 18th as World Arabic Language Day. Additionally, I've sent out and linked below a when to meet to decide on a spring meeting time for the caucus. So if you are a member or interested in joining, please do fill out the form below. Enjoy the break and happy holidays.
Any questions? All right, seeing none. Sustainability Ad Hoc Caucus Chair DeCara.
So this past Tuesday, members of the caucus were able to tour the Arboretum with members of the executive cabinet. We'll be looking into also scheduling tours of the water and energy facilities that UCF has on campus. We were able to reach out and start setting up our meetings for the spring. So soon we'll start heading up on focusing on areas of focus, and soon after that will be resolutions. And also during today's meeting, we were able to confirm Jen Cleo into our permanent ex officio seat. If you want more information on that, I linked their website. Additionally, for those who are interested in joining the caucus in the spring, the when to meet is right there.
Any questions? All right, seeing none. Intercampus and Transfer Ad Hoc Caucus Chair Varela. Oh, did I skip one? Oh, sorry. Okay, good.
Hi, Senate. We have our last meeting of the semester tomorrow. I'm very proud of the steps we have taken this semester to address some of the prominent issues faced by trans students and students attending other campuses here at UCF. And I'm excited to continue this important work next semester. And I'll be setting up the when to meet for the caucus within the caucus tomorrow. So if you want to join or interested in joining, just kind of DM me on Teams. I can get that to you. Thank you, and have a happy holidays.
Any questions? All right, seeing none. All right, announcements from the Senate President. All right, hi everyone. The mic. All right, sorry. Hi everyone. Congratulations on a good semester. I'm linked on all your guys' emails, so I see what you guys are doing and I see the progress you're making. So congrats on a good semester. I'm also reading through all of the committee notes and things like that. So again, I see everything you're doing and we had a really successful semester. So congratulations on that. Have a good holiday break. Definitely a much needed break. And then I'll be in touch about the first meeting of the next semester and things like that. For next semester plans, I had more to say about that, but now I'm blanking. Let me see if I can remember it. Next semester plans. All right. Be on the lookout for more outreach events and things like that. Well, I think the first week we all do, like as SG, we do like outreach and things like that. But yeah, I definitely think we're in good shape. I do plan on sending out like some sort of form of how can I support you? How can we move forward? You can be anonymous, you can put your name, but obviously just more of like a temperature check for next semester. How can us as leadership help you and things like that? But as far as that goes, if anyone needs anything, I'm here. I'll still be around in the office working, doing ANSF stuff. Oh yeah, I'm working on a lot of the budget stuff right now. That's what I'm doing a lot of. But yeah, any questions for myself? All right, seeing none, internal legislative assistant report, Ayala Al-Quda.
Hello again, Senate. Working on getting SLC applications open and excited to start SLC in the spring. In the meantime, SGLC banquet this Monday. Again, enjoy the break and happy holidays.
Any questions for Ayala Al-Quda, Metellus?
When will like the mentor matching and stuff like that start?
Yeah, so I'm still working it out. Everything is pretty much really tentative at this point, but I'm hoping that there will be some way for SLCers to kind of bond with senators and kind of feel out who they might be a good connection to for themselves, and then have them kind of fill out like a form of who they would like, and then from there make decisions, but as soon as possible.
Any further Varela?
It's kind of a double-jointed question.
Go ahead.
The first part of this question is, will caucus chairs be afforded the opportunity for mentorship? And if so, which council will they be mentoring, or is it a mix of all of them?
As senators, in the capacity of a senator, I would, on a case by case basis, consider caucus chairs for sure. And what was the second part of the question? Repeat that. SLC. So in their capacity as a senator, it would be SLC.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none. External Legislative Assistant Report, Ely Richmond.
I met with Anna this week to talk about comms. Everything seems to be going pretty good. To my knowledge, the post is made for empty Senate seats. We have one more D meeting left. Shout out Graduate Studies on Monday at 10:30 in the morning. And then I was really scared I wasn't going to be able to tell you all this week, but today at 9:34 a.m. I was led into another law school. Why do you? Yeah. Maybe the last time telling you. I've had so much fun in Senate, and I hope you all have so much fun. So have a good holidays.
Any questions for Ely Richmond? Green.
Okay, so for the college reveal party, is it going to be like balloons the same color as that school's colors?
So I'm doing a gender reveal. So I'm being super extra. So my three closest friends, Carl, Nailani, and Davia, they're going to have the color shooters, and then I'm gonna have a big cake. So the real ones, but not my three best friends. They're gonna cut the cake, and we're all gonna do it together. But honestly, I don't even think I'll know the school I choose. So it'll probably be a surprise to myself.
All right, any further questions? All right, seeing none. Let me see. Sometimes I get lost in the agenda. All right, Senate President Pro Tempore report, Pro Tem Morissette.
Hello, everyone. Any legislation that was submitted after last Thursday will be remanded today, but we'll see it when we get back. So chairs, just remember that you may have pending legislation. You can always postpone it. Senate of the month will be announced at the end of the meeting. Just be at the end of the meeting, certificate pending, because I forgot to print it. I will be on campus over break, unfortunately. So let me know if you need anything, because I'll unfortunately be here. That's all for me.
Any questions? Who was the question? Oh, sorry. I got confused. Okay. Seeing no questions. Deputy Pro Tempore of Legislative Affairs report, D-Leg Butler. None? All right. Deputy Pro Tempore of Senate Relations report, D-Sir Lazo.
Just dropped a little work in progress of a how-to and vocab guide I have for new senators. I know a lot of them kind of get confused with all the vocabulary we use and how to train meetings and all that stuff. So I'm going to just drop that there. That link may not work. I don't really know why sometimes Outlook doesn't like me, but if it doesn't work, it's also going to be in the Senate files under all the way at the bottom. It's under Welcome to Senate as well. So go ahead and give that a look and then tell me what you think needs it, what do you think could be added, and how you think about it so far. On top of that, Motion to Score, which is our soccer team, is doing great. We didn't win last week, but I did get yellow carded unfairly, so that's a good play for me. Thank you to new senators Stoss and Pitchy for getting involved and joining the team, even though they're brand new. So thank you.
Any questions? All right, seeing none. Old business, none. Fiscal committee caucus time, none. Fiscal committee reports, Chair Kringle. Kringle and Norshin are here. You want to give it? Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, sorry guys, neither of them are here, so I'll be giving his report. So Chair Kringle says, hi everyone, sorry Shen nor I could be there tonight. We wanted to update everyone on some of the future procedures CRT will utilize for the rest of this session as our budget is getting low. Some of these are going to be limiting individual allocations for seminar/networking to 20 allocations per conference. Looking into legislation to lower individual/RSO allocation and bill caps, remove/adjust current stipends, and limit 5 funding caps for individuals and RSOs. Allocation requests for any month will close the final week of the prior month. For example, allocations for requests in March will close the final week of January. This extends our submission timeline from about 15 business days to about 20 to 25. And then this week in committee, we approved 56, 358, 370, 372, 374, 376, and 378. We PPI'd 56, 337, and 371. We denied 56, 373, 375, 377, and 379, and amended the total approved 56, 136 to $0, 56, 178 to $169.96, and 56, 279 to $1,680. This will be our last meeting until the first week of spring. We are not accepting applications for allocations that start before February 6th, 2025. If there are any issues with this new policy, or if anyone has any questions, please contact me or Vice Chair Shen.
Any questions, Varela?
I know now the chair and the vice chair are here, so just answer this to the best of your ability. But what kind of policy changes or steps is the CRT committee taking to make sure that they don't run out of money? Because I know that's been an issue recently.
Right. So that's just kind of the stuff that I was just reading out. We kind of met as a committee and brainstormed what would be best going forward. So we had a lot of great legislative ideas for like the next session, but because we are in the middle of a fiscal year, it's just a little bit weird with putting out new legislation mid-fiscal year. So this is kind of what we have agreed on. So like the limiting individual allocations to 20 per conference and stuff like that.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none, FAO Committee Chair Kaufman.
At our final meeting, we approved 56-125 and PPI'd 56-123 and 56-124. We will be meeting on Tuesdays at 4:30 in the spring, so if anyone wants to join, please let me know.
Any questions? All right, seeing none. ORS Committee, Chair Rose, none. Fiscal legislation, notice of legislation on first reading, none. Notice of legislation on third reading, Fiscal Bill 5631, funding for Knight's experimental rocketry to host the KXR 2024-25 Phase 1 project cycle at UCF Engineering Building on February 13th, 2025. Chair Hamid, the RSO isn't here. Oh, they're here. Okay. Is there a motion for 5-minute speech, 10-minute questioning, 10-minute debate? Any objections? All right, seeing none, the RSO has 5 minutes whenever they're ready. I'll just start the timer whenever you're ready.
Yep, sounds good. Ready whenever you are. Hello again, Senate. There are no major updates with the bill. We still plan to continue with the same initiatives as we have. There have been no changes in prices of the materials we seek to buy, and the project scopes have not changed as of yet. If you guys have any other things that you need from me, just let me know. But outside of that, nothing has changed in terms of our initiative for this bill.
All right, we're now in for questioning. Are there any questions for this RSO? Courts?
Motion to move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. All right, anyone wishing to speak in debate? Varela.
Move the vote.
I think we have to see amendments. Am I on the, oh wait, I'm on the wrong one. Wait, no. Wait, I'm on the wrong one, sorry. Okay, my bad. All right, Lipner, do you object?
Motion to see my amendment as a technical.
Oh.
It's in the total costs. It's just
yeah.
the $sign.
I'll see as a technical. All right, there's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with the vote count of 33 to 1 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5631 passes on third reading.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, Fiscal Bill 5635, funding for Vietnamese American Student Association to host the Tet Lunar New Year at UCF in the Pegasus Ballroom on February 23rd, 2025. Deleg Butler.
We heard this last week and nothing has changed, so I yield to questioning.
All right, we're now online for questioning. Is there anyone wishing? Do you have any questions? Courts.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. Is there anyone wishing to speak in debate? Ganesh.
May I retain?
You may.
This event is so cool and it's so fun. They have funny skits every year, great music, great food, and it's free. So I recommend y'all go, and I hope y'all vote in favor. With that in mind, let's move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with the vote count of 34 to 0 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5635 passes on third reading. Okay, Fiscal Bill 5636 this is the one that I was looking at earlier. Funding for 17 members of Air Force ROTC to travel to the Air Force Association Warfare Symposium in Aurora, Colorado from March 2nd, 2025 to March 5th, 2025. CRT Chair Kringle. Butler.
Okay, I'll be representing this, and he gave me a speech. The conference schedule was just released, and for the first time in 40-year history, it'll be a full normal 3-day conference with time slots and normal conference schedule. And they have to leave the day after because activities end at 6 p.m. instead of the past year's 10 a.m. This adds cost to the plane travel and hotel stay. If there's any questions throughout, let me know.
Any questions? We're now online for questioning. Sorry, I'm looking at the time. All right, courts.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. All right. Butler.
I motion to see Kringle's amendments on the page.
There's been a motion to see Kringle's amendments. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, whenever you're ready.
He basically updated the price to show that it's, I think, 4 days, 4 nights instead of 3.
Any questions? Seeing none, I'll take a motion. Lipner.
Motion to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, we're now in debate. Anyone wishing to speak in debate? Johnson.
Can I retain?
You may.
Yeah, Chair Kringle's numbers are always good, so I have trust in them. Motion to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures on the amendment. All of them. All right, with the vote count of 35 to 0 to 0, the amendments pass. We're still in debate on the bill. Pretty much have 10 minutes. Anyone? Gaudio?
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, right, with a vote count of 35 to 1 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5636 passes on third reading. All right, Fiscal Bill 5637, funding for 16 members of Ballroom Nights to travel to the USA Dance Nationals in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from March 28th, 2025 to March 30th, 2025. Senator Hall.
Yeah, so it was seen last week, voted overwhelmingly. It's a great opportunity, particularly, we have a lot of great dance RSOs that exist on campus that are usually pretty underappreciated. I know sometimes they don't even really have the spaces to practice. This is a great opportunity for them to showcase UCF on the national stage. So,
All right, we're now live for questioning. Are there any questions? Thoughts?
Motion to move the debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. Is there anyone wishing to speak in debate? Morrison?
Yeah, I agree. This is a good opportunity. All the numbers look good, so I'll be voting in favor.
Benwick?
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Love all the new senators are getting the hang of it. Love this. Okay. There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 35 to 0 to 0, Fiscal Bill 56, that was 37. 37 passes on third reading. All right, Fiscal Bill 5638, funding for 12 members of Forensic Science Association to travel to the American Academy of Forensic Science in Baltimore, Maryland from February 17th, 2025 to February 22nd, 2025. DeLeg Butler.
Nothing has changed. I forgot the words. I give the rest of my time to questioning.
All right, we're online for questioning. Corelli.
I might be doing the math wrong, but that lodging, the 330 times 3 times 4, that's not coming out to 2283.
Okay, well, are you double checking that math, Butler? Okay, let me let Danny. If you want to check too. All right, in the meantime, any further questions? If not, I'll take a motion while we wait for that figure to be checked. Good move. Motion to debate. There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, we're now in debate. Anyone wishing to speak in debate? We're still checking the figure. You're checking it, right, Elise? Okay. Okay. Lipner?
I guess this is a question for either you or DeLeg Butler. Do we have the PowerPoint so we can refer to that as far as the correct total?
It should be in the Teams.
The PowerPoint for forensic.
It's in the files.
Okay. We can double check, make sure it's on the number, because if it's a mathematical error, that's fine. Any further debate while we're checking these numbers? All right, we'll just sit in silence.
Can I let the RSO speak?
You can yield your time.
Yeah, I yield my time to the RSO.
Okay.
Hello, good evening, Senate. My name is Ashley Fox. I'm the treasurer of Forensic Science Association. The way that we broke it down was by person, not by night. So it's that 190 times 12 because we have 12 people going. So that's how much it would cost, like one human being, not per night, but for the total of the of the 3 days. Any questions?
Yeah, any questions? Lipner?
So to clarify, it would be 330 times 12.
It would be, I'm pretty sure we have it as like the 190.
190 times 12.
Correct.
Okay.
So that gives you that 2,380 something.
Gurov?
Do you happen to have the quotes for like a per night just on you? Because
So in regards to quotes for the hotels, the airlines will give us quotes, but the hotels will not because they fluctuate daily and then we can't get tied into it. But I did check it as of this morning. I can pop it on there for you. It's still the same amount. It's like $161 per room, per night, all that jazz. But I can bring it up, absolutely.
Any further questions? Lipner?
I guess for you, Speaker Pullman. Okay.
Mhm.
Could you retract your amendment, seeing as we just got into the new?
Yeah, sorry, that was
No, you're all
Danny's
good, thank you.
amendment. Sorry, I don't know how, I actually don't. Is it gone on your guys' computers? Is it gone or still there? Gone? Okay, good move.
So then I guess my question is to you, or who else can answer it? So is it like, can we put that it's 190 per night per person, like, or does that gonna make it to where they're now required to have 12 separate rooms because that's how it's written in the bill? Because I thought it has to be like specified how many rooms in the bill, but I'm not.
Whoever can answer.
In terms of like whether it's an issue or not, I'm not sure. Customly in the CRT, it's usually per room because I know when it gets down to lodging, that's how they usually break it up. I can't find the PowerPoint, so I also can't look at the quotes either. So I'm trying to do right now, but usually it's broken up by room.
Maddie.
I linked the PowerPoint in the agenda.
Lipner.
Also, because it is 4 rooms and 3 people, or sorry, 4 rooms and 3 nights versus 12 people, the cost per person will be the same as the cost per room. So it's 190.25 per night as well. So we can just use that same total.
All right. We're in debate, I believe. So, Butler.
Can I see my amendments? Can you see my amendments?
Yes.
Or can they be seen as technicals? Because the price didn't change, only the description changed.
I'll see as a technical. As long as the price didn't change, it was just the description. Okay. Any further debates? Lipner.
Sorry, to avoid the aforementioned issue that Gumarov mentioned, can we leave it at the 3 nights and 4 rooms and just keep that 190 total?
You can answer. Yeah, okay. I'm not the one who fixes the, I'm seeing Butler's as a technical for whoever's fixing the agenda. Okay. Any further debate? If not, I'll take a motion. Lipner?
Motion to see my coming amendment as a technical to just fix the math.
Where is it?
It's right.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'll see it as a technical. Courts?
Motion to move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on voting procedures. On the fiscal bill. All right, with the vote count of 33 to 0 to 0, fiscal bill 56 38 passes on third reading. All right. Fiscal Bill 5639, funding for 52 members of National Society of Black Engineers to travel to the NSBE Annual Convention in Chicago, Illinois from March 5th, 2025 to March 9th, 2025. Chair Metellus, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
I yield my time to the RSO.
All right. We'll have the RSO come up.
Cool. You're gonna start whenever?
Yep, whenever.
All right, cool. Hey everyone, how's it going? Just like last Thursday, nothing's really changed much besides the flights. So I did come across a cheaper flight. So instead of Southwest, which was $425 per person, we brought it down to $395 per person. I believe we're going into like a discount season for flights at the moment. So I'm asking for a little bit of extra time for flights at the moment because we gotta select people next week. So we're going to get that solidified and then flights should follow through with that. I believe flights will be going down from this point out. So any questions, comments, concerns?
All right, we're now on for questioning. Are there any questions for this RSO? Okay, Johnson Lipner.
Would your RSO be opposed to limiting that 52 members down to about the same amount that you guys took last year? I think it was about 30.
We've thought about it. I have to check back in with our president about that, but he said if it comes to it, we will make that decision, yes.
Lipner.
Yeah, I just wanted some clarification. There was a mic issue where I couldn't hear everything that you said. What was the discrepancy in regards to waiting to like solidify the members?
So we gave them a deadline for this Sunday for the application itself, because just to be fair with everyone. And so, yeah, that was a discrepancy with that.
Go ahead.
So to clarify, you do not have 52 people selected currently?
No, we have 50 people that applied, but we haven't selected everyone yet.
Any further questions? Benwick.
I believe you mentioned it at the last meeting, but could you remind me why it's the specific 52 members or why it is 52 instead of the 38 that was mentioned?
Oh, so yeah, last time I said we've gotten bigger as a chapter. So last year we were considered a medium chapter, while this time we're a larger chapter, which is over 100 members. So I figured to compensate with that, we take a bit more people this time around.
Galazzo.
You're requesting for 50 people, but you said 50 people have applied. So what is the selection criteria that your RSO is using to select the people who will be going?
Cool. So we've broke it down into a system where we have a 111 and a 333. I wasn't here last time, but for FRC we had a 111 system where it was 1 GBM, 1 fundraiser/community service, and then 1 workshop. This time it's 3 of those. So 3 GBMs, 3 fundraisers/community services, and 3 workshops. That's the criteria to be eligible to apply for the application for ANC.
Good.
Do you anticipate accepting all 50 individuals?
No, we do not.
Johnson.
Motion to debate.
Did you have a question? Okay.
Okay, I take it back.
Okay. More set.
In the instance that you don't accept all 50 individuals and we do approve the bill tonight at 52 members, how would that work in terms of funding? Would you guys make up for the difference, or would you calculate that somewhere else into your expenses?
Well, we would make up for it, for one, with because we still have people that haven't necessarily hit that goal. That's a 3-3. So there's still the outliers, the wait list we have. So if they don't have all 50 people that apply and we bring them in, we can add those people as well to make up that difference, or we can just fund it somewhere else with the bill.
Lipner.
If you had to estimate how many of the 52 people that applied would you say that are like would be accepted currently?
Currently, I'd say at least 90%.
Any further questions? You have another one?
What will all 50 members be doing at this conference while you're there?
Gotcha. So the way it works is 4 days. Every day is a career fair, from my understanding. And then in that career fair, so the career fair is not the entire day. However, there's workshops with multiple professionals, whether it be engineers or any other discipline of choice. For an example, at FRC we went, there was a guy I met. He had a workshop based on AI programming and something else he was talking about. But yeah, something like that. There's a bunch of workshops as well as competitions. So we have AI and Hackathon. We have Let's Debate, where it's just like a little, basically like a Jeopardy kind of feel game to it. And then we have elevator pitch competition where like people, they test out elevator pitches and see who has the best one. And I believe there's another one, a flight competition. I believe they're doing that again this year. So things like that.
Any further questions? Courts?
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. All right. Morset. Oh.
Motion to see my amendments.
There's been a motion to see Pro Temp Morset's amendments. Are there any objections? Seeing none, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, as stated by the RSO, the only change is the flights. I know last meeting we had some discrepancies with the flights since they were high, and this is the lowest that they were able to get while still accommodating for like carry-on bags and everything like that. So I just adjusted the totals and the changes to replicate that into the bill. I yield to questioning.
Any questions? Lipner.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. Anyone wishing to speak in debate? Courts.
May I retain?
You may.
Okay, glad that we were able to find cheaper flights. Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures on the amendments. With a vote count of 35 to 0, these amendments pass. We're still in debate on the bill. We have about, wait, I never set the timer. We have 10 minutes. Metellus.
I'll be voting in favor of this bill. I am personally a member of the National Society of Black Engineers, and I highly encourage you guys to also vote in favor of this bill. This conference supports many of the members of this organization, helps them with internship opportunities, and this bill can potentially help a student find a job and get a career for themselves, and we will be helping this club a lot by voting in favor of it. So I highly encourage you guys to do so.
Johnson.
Yes, I think that this is such an amazing bill, and I definitely want this RSO to go and get those internships and things. Just being a member of CRT, I will be abstaining unless we do see an amendment just to lower the amount. Not saying I don't want them to go, and I necessarily don't want to sway anyone's opinion into voting no, because that's just not what I'm saying. But it is just a lot of people. They have only had 50 people apply, and given that the CRT budget is looking a little low, I just think that lowering it down to whatever is, just like a happy medium between the RSO and Senate would just kind of help our budget and help send more students on great opportunities like this.
I'll do Gurmrah and then Colazo.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of give points of information for everyone. So the RSO also had a bill this year as well. 5613 also sent 55 members to a conference in Birmingham, Alabama. And then last year they sent a conference with 30 members. And I know like the RSO had mentioned a member increase. They increased by about, if I recall, 30 to 40 members in their member, what's it called? Like registered member count. So the only reason why take with that what you will, but the only reason why I'm a little bit wary is just because I was personally unaware that the 52 members weren't already picked out, which is usually something that we do require for a lot of CRT bills, because like once we do on third reading, like they will, like we're allocating them the money, and so it's just a little odd if we don't have all the members picked out, especially because immediately after they have to send out their travel roster and things like that. And then with 52 members that they're requesting for funding and only 50 have even said that they were interested is also making me a little bit weary. So do with that what you will.
Colazo, yeah.
I'm inclined to table the bill until we have a definitive number into how many participants will be going. I've seen the CRT budget. I'm just a little hesitant to like vote yes. Of course, I want the RSO to go. However, like Senator Kumarov expressed, that we usually know exactly how many members will be attending, and the RSO representative expressed that they haven't selected their candidates yet. So I'm more inclined to table the legislation and then pick it back up once we have a definitive number.
Gaudio.
I also kind of echo what Colazo has to say. I personally would be inclined to remand it back to CRT for the same reason, just to make it easier to make those adjustments. Yeah.
Butler.
I'm almost positive if it is remanded back, they'd be out of timeline. So I'm fine. I'm almost positive it has to be dealt with today. So I think it's better to just decrease the number of members by a little bit, since that seems to be the main issue. But yeah.
Okay, we'll just let debate on this. So I'll do Gumrov, then Varela, and then Thos.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say that so they would, even if we did table it or remand it back, they would be out of timeline because we already aren't accepting funding, like even for allocations up until February 6th, and they would be traveling March 5th, and it's a bill, so it'd take extra time. As far as the number of how many members, we can ask fiscal chairs their personal opinion. I also say we should probably ask the RSO what they feel more comfortable taking. Yeah, because I think we're gonna sit here arguing about a number like all night long. So
may I pose a couple questions back to the RSO?
You may.
Okay, how many people went last year?
35 people.
And how many people were in your RSO last year? Like the most exact number you can remember?
I want to say 69, 71, somewhere in that ballpark. Those two numbers.
Okay, and how many people are in the RSO like currently now?
Currently, we have signed up members over 110.
Okay, and then may I have a piece of debate after that?
Go ahead.
Okay, I just did the math, kind of to see that kind of percentage increase of the members going, like kind of compared to the RSO. About 49% of their members went last time, and this time about 47% of their members are going. So the RSO is being truthful, as in like they are trying to accommodate for the higher membership count. I share the concerns of the CRT budget, because obviously we want more RSOs to do what really go to these trips. But I thought it was important information to know that it is proportional to their growth of membership. How many people they're now bringing.
Okay, I said Thos. Okay. Any further debate? We have like 4 minutes. Lipner?
May I direct a few questions to the RSO?
You may.
So, as someone on CRT, I personally don't feel comfortable sending all 52 members. Would you feel comfortable lowering that number to something like 32?
Could I do 35?
Can I ask why that number?
because I would like to have a certain number of e-board members as well, mixed with the regular members with it. So it's a responsibility kind of thing going on there.
I'll do you one better and give you 36. That way it's multiple of 4. Is that good with you?
I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. Anyone else wishing to speak? Ganesh.
I understand everybody's sentiments about like the CRT budget, but I'm going to be voting in favor. I feel like this is a very good opportunity for the RSO. And like JC had calculated, it's proportional to their growth. In fact, it's like, what, 2% less? So I'm fine with it. Yes, we got to be a little choppy with the budget now, but this is a great opportunity for them. I'll be voting in favor.
Kumrov.
Yeah, so another point of information, guys, because I'm so informative today. So they sent 30 members last year. They sent 55 members with their last bill, which was this year. It was in September. So they sent 55 of the 69 members this year, not last year, which was, where is it? 79% of their RSO at the time. So I just, again, point of information.
Johnson.
Can I motion to see Lipner's amendments? Am I allowed to do that?
I think so. Are you still working? Okay. Got it. Quartz.
Can I just attach mine as a friendly to Lipner's? It's just changing the number at the top. Like I think
It would be up to Lipner.
Okay, great.
Metellus.
Can I direct a question to Senator Gumrov?
You may.
I'm a bit confused because you said 69 members this year when that bill was passed, but you said 110 this year.
Yeah, sorry. So when I was going through the bills, so they had one bill already this year, which was 5613. They sent 55 members to the Fall Regional Conference in Birmingham, Alabama from November 8th to November 10th. So at that time, they had, it's on the bill, it says that they had 69 active due paying members. And then with this bill, 5639, yeah, they went up to 110, but it's still within this year. They might have had 69 members last year. I can't find that bill right now, but the member count went up from basically September up until now.
Ganesh. Wait. Oh, the question, actually, is there a motion to extend debate by, I don't know, 5 minutes? Any objections? Seeing none, we have about 5 minutes remaining in debate. Did you have a second question?
Does this sound about right? You had like 30 members or 40 members increase?
So I believe what happened was when I filled out that bill originally, the form I used to calculate the members that we had active was an older form. For as of this moment, I checked the form today where we had 110 members active paying, send screenshots of their chapter dues and national dues. So 110 members have paid.
I'll do Lipner and then Hall.
Motion to see my amendments and also Chair Quartz is as a friendly.
There's been a motion to see Lipner's amendments and then Chair Quartz as a friendly. Any objections? You have an objection?
All I was raising my hand for was I also just have a friendly of verification of RSO purchases as a weird random space in between it. So I just exit out that space. I was just going to ask if you can.
And then that is a friendly.
Yes.
All right. Any objections? All right, seeing none, we're now in. Oh wait, no, it's whenever you're ready. Sorry.
Yeah, you're all good. We're just lowering it down to that 36. I really do hate to do this. I wish we could send as many people as possible. It really does hurt me. As someone on CRT, I'd love to see as many people go, but with us getting towards the end of our budget, we need to make sure that that budget goes to as many different RSOs as well to make sure that everyone can do as much as possible. So for that reason, I am lowering it down to that 36 as we discussed. and all of those numbers are just kind of adjusted to match.
Any questions? Varela.
Yeah, I can't really see the numbers perfectly because like all these like strike throughs and like the colors, but how much money exactly are we saving by only setting 36?
Yeah, it is about approximately a $4,500 difference for each us and the RSO. So for a total of 9,000.
Johnson?
Motion to move debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Oh gosh. Seeing none, we're now in debate. Johnson.
Yes, I'm very happy with this number. I also am very sorry that we had to lower it. Informally, I really hope I didn't come off as a hater because that was not my intention. Just same thing. I just want to send as many RSOs to events like this as possible.
We'll do Benwick.
May I direct a question to the RSO?
You may.
How are you going to crunch down on picking members now to send versus the 52 that you guys are initially were going to send?
So we have a system like this in place. So we're going to go by baseline class. So graduate students, senior students, juniors, sophomores, freshmen.
Courts.
Okay. No. Okay, may I retain?
You may.
Okay. Yeah, I feel comfortable doing this, especially since I just watched both the RSO and Lipner negotiate on it. So yeah, and with that, I motion to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. On the amendments. With a vote count of 33 to 2 to 1, the amendments pass. We're still in debate on the bill. I'll do Banesh and then Gumrov.
Yeah, with these edits, I'm voting in favor. Period.
So hard to follow that. I was just gonna say, so I think also the RSO is getting up to their yearly cap of 24,000 as well with the original numbers. So I think this gives more opportunity for the RSO to do extra things in the year if they feel like. And so yeah, I'll be voting in favor as well, and I hope you all do the same.
Connolly.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with the vote count of 35 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5639 passes on third reading. All right, we're done with fiscal or notice of legislation on second reading. Notice of legislation on second reading, none. Internal committee caucus time, none. Internal committee reports. Okay, I think this was always our plan. So do you guys, I thought a lot of people did want to go to Winter Wonderland. I'm seeing head nods. I think just in case we end up on a time crunch, I don't want that to happen. I don't want us to be crunching the bills that we have to see. So what, like 45 minutes, an hour? How long? Okay, you want an hour? Okay. Okay. Okay, so then I probably won't make the motion then unless I'm, okay, Hall.
I motion for hour recess.
There's been, do you withdraw?
No.
All right, the objection starts. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes whenever you're ready.
There is a certain motion that needs to be made that requires a certain amount of people that has been agreed upon by an X amount of people in the room that should be seen before recess. I'm glad with recess, but just not right now. I feel like we should have dealt with fiscal immediately and then move into it. I'm perfectly fine with recess, just not right now, like possibly after this.
Yeah, you and I both know what motion is going to be made and how long that's going to take, assuming that certain people get their way, which they won't. But my argument would be that this thing doesn't go on that long, and we run the risk of potentially everyone not being able to participate. There are 4 bills left to be seen. I have a feeling, considering one of them is on 3rd reading and the other 3 are fairly non-controversial, those would be able to get done fairly quickly. I think it is a good time right now at the peak time of the event for everyone to be able to go participate.
All right, we now have 5 minutes in debate. Okay, I'm gonna go kind of college around the room. I'll do Connolly, Quartz, Doss.
So I have a test tomorrow. So if we take a long recess, that I know for me personally and other people, that runs the risk of not everybody coming back, so we don't have enough votes for certain things. I'm okay with the recess, but if we need to get something done that requires a certain amount of votes, I feel like that needs to be taken into account.
My roommates just texted me and said that they're waiting for me and I want to see them.
I've never done the Winter Wonderland, so I really want to go. That's my reasoning.
Okay, Gaudio, Benesh, Lazo.
I don't know if there's any mac and cheese left, but it's calling my name.
Benesh.
Considering that we're using coded language and half of us in the room are like, what the is he talking about right now? And we kind of all need a break. Some people need to study and whatnot. I really think we can just have the break. And like Hall said, we only have 4 bills left. And if we, all read them, hurry it up, we'll be fine.
Lazo.
As Benesh mentioned, I think for the fairness of the body that we should be able to address the coded language, as well as the fact that it is a Thursday. Unfortunately, Winter Wonderland has always been on a Thursday, but as senators, we did sign up for a Thursday every week for our session. So unfortunately, our business does come first. And I do think that it is fair to the people who put in these bills, and as well as to the people who are trying to pass that motion, that we all respect their time and their wishes.
All right, we still have debate time left. I'll do Johnson and then Gimroff.
I'm pretty indifferent to a break. Just my biggest thing is that I do need us to see resolution 5611 for 2nd and 3rd reading in order to meet the timeline with what I'm doing for Black Caucus. So if taking a break does prevent us from doing that, it is going to put the majority of Black Caucus's goal for this academic semester behind.
Gimroff.
Yeah, I was going to say, you all know I'm a yapper and I love being here and I really would love to see all these resolutions and proclamations and bills and give my 2 cents. But I'll be leaving if I take a break. So I love you all, miss you all. See you when the semester starts.
Okay, I'll do Hall and then Collazo, Morset.
Just to point out, it's currently 8:30 p.m. Our meetings typically go till midnight. The latest we would be back is 9:30. I think there's more than enough time to see 4 bills, and obviously an important bill that needs to be seen on 2nd and 3rd. I think there's more than enough time.
Collazo.
I'm inclined to agree with Senator Hall. However, I don't agree with 1 hour. I would prefer 45 minutes or 30 minutes. Just hearing the sentiments from the Disability Caucus chair and the fact that we need to see this resolution on 2nd and 3rd reading. I personally, I'll be voting no. I would just like the recess to be a little bit shorter.
Morset.
Just by a raise of hands, if this is appropriate, how many senators plan on returning back? Okay, no.
All right. Now we have about a minute remaining in debate time. Metellus.
just have a question. I guess even if you all could answer or head nods or something. Do we want to just see that proclamation now before we decide on whether or not we take a break or not? Yes, because I would like to do that. So can I make the motion now or wait until
we're
after?
still, yeah, we'd have to
Okay.
finish this out. Okay, any further debate? Banesh?
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on voting procedures. I don't know, I forget who's who. Object. The objection is. Okay. So then Aiden would be yes, Dylan would be no, or Takara Hall. Is anyone confused?
So if we want the, sorry, that's really quick. If we want the recess, no. If we don't want the,
So as if you're voting yes, that means you don't want the recess. If you're voting no, that means you do want the recess. Yes.
Is the final time we're voting on an hour?
Yeah. So yes is you'd agree with Takara, no recess. No, you'd agree with Hall, recess. All right, with the vote count of 17 to 15 to 3, we are not recessing courts. We're not.
Okay, motion for 45-minute recess.
There's been a motion for a 45-minute recess. Are there any objections? You object? Do you withdraw? It seems like there is a want for a recess. It's just the time. Okay. Dinesh.
How about we just see that proclamation through second and third reading first, and then we do the 1 hour recess?
Okay.
Is that okay? Can I have a motion?
What's your question?
So I'm a little confused. So is the proclamation in timeline? I thought Takara was saying he needs votes for his bill. So I don't understand which one's the priority here.
Courts.
They mean the resolution, not the proclamation.
And
okay, Varel.
The resolution 5611.
There's been a motion to see 5611, resolution 5611. Are there any objections? Seeing none, well, I think we'd have to do, first we'd have to do, is there a motion to move to internal legislation? Any objections? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to move to notice of legislation on second reading? Any objections? Seeing none, resolution, and then we already kind of saw that. All right. Just so you know, Winter Wonderland ends at 10. All right, resolution 5611. Is there a motion for 51010? Any objections? All right, seeing none, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
I yield my time to Senator Johnson.
Okay, hi guys. I know you guys are probably so tired of me talking about this, but just to kind of sum up everything, this is the third time that this resolution has been seen by the Senate, so they've been writing it since the 53rd session. What makes this resolution different than the others is I have been doing a lot of sort of unconventional things. So the first thing I did was I did send out that poll. It got a total of, I believe, 668 responses. 588 of those were in affirmation. So the students did want to have school suspended on that day. And then we had 79 individuals or people who are representing RSOs that said they did not. Additionally, with that, if you guys look, we have a whole bunch of sponsors. These are individual students and RSOs that did, when they took the poll, said that they wanted to support this even more. So I sent them individual emails, told them their options, and they did decide to sponsor. So I think that's super cool. If you notate, all of the sponsors are also going to be emailed this document, because I feel like if it passes, it'd be really cool just to have this official document with their name on it. And then we did get support from a bunch of faculty associations. So the Black Faculty Association, the Pride Faculty Association, the Muslim Student Association. We are hearing back from like the Staff Faculty Association. I actually found out today, the Staff Advisory Association, that they're going to email their staff and have them take a poll to see if they want to either have this day just off of work, or like by closing the campus or suspending the classes. And then I'm also in talks with the Senate faculty about what they think. But when I was talking to Chair King about it, he did seem really receptive. So I'm saying all this to say that I have done the work to make sure this is what the school wants. And from my knowledge, it is. And then before I finish, there is a big difference between closing campus and suspending classes. So if I motion to close campus, those who get paid hourly like us, we won't get paid for that day because we cannot work on that day. Versus by suspending classes, you don't have to go to class, but you can still clock in for work and still get paid on that day. So that's the huge difference. Now, if the provost does decide he wants to close campus, it won't come from me. But just given the economy, if you need that paycheck to pay your rent, I don't want to take that away from you, especially since not everyone celebrates that holiday like my family does. And then as for the numbers, all of those numbers are up to date. So they are different from the last resolutions. The United States and the Florida numbers, they come from the Census Bureau. And then that 9.2 comes from UCF's website. And that's about it. Please ask me questions. I've been working really hard on this. And I did draft a proposal that I will personally present to the provost next semester with Dr. Guzman. So hopefully he likes me.
Great. Any questions, Gumrof?
I just had a question. So on the 17th whereas clause, where it just says it just says the Juneteenth National Holiday Independence Day Act, is that meant to kind of break up the resolution, or is it meant to be like a full sentence, or what is the?
Yeah, so that's like the full name of the Juneteenth holiday. It's the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, but we usually just shorten it to just the Juneteenth holiday. So that's kind of what it is.
Courts? Lipner?
Could you just give everyone a little bit more explanation on how you worded the first therefore be it resolved clause? I understand it, but I needed it to be explained to me to have it be understood.
Yeah, so essentially when Abraham Lincoln passed the Emancipation Proclamation, people weren't really telling the enslaved that they were free. So it did leave some discrepancy. So essentially it's just explaining that when that Emancipation Proclamation was passed, not all enslaved people in the United States were actually set free. And so Juneteenth kind of represents when the last of the enslaved people knew that they were free to go, because really you didn't find out unless someone told you, just because, the enslaved people were not allowed to read. So that's just kind of what it's explaining. It's explaining that this is different from the Emancipation Proclamation because this is when everything actually happened, or this was the last day.
Marissa?
Do you have any ideas or initiatives that you would like to promote on the university campus, either with Black Caucus or in conjunction with other RSOs or departments, to promote Juneteenth, if this would to be either a holiday or classes suspended?
Yes, I have been talking with Dr. Guzman, and she wants to do a celebration on campus. It is something that I think we could do. The only problem is that Juneteenth happens before the caucuses start. So Black Caucus wouldn't really be able to be involved with it. But within Black Caucus, we've kind of talked about maybe we would be willing to work on it, just not formally. And then I also kind of wanted to talk, if this passed, with BSU and other Black orgs, to see if that's something they wanted to spearhead. And the funding for this, she says she has funding that doesn't come from the state, because unfortunately, if it comes from the state, she could not fund it. But she has private funding, and she says this is something that they would love to support and love this for this to be something that they would do. So I'll probably be working on that. I just wanted to get past this part to see if it actually passes. Sorry. And this is also for summer 2026. not for summer 2025, because that's too soon to ask teachers to change their syllabi.
Metellus.
And to add to that answer, the Multicultural Student Center does do a Juneteenth celebration. So Black Caucus, or the Black Caucus at the time, could collab with the Multicultural Student Center or at least plan for it before caucuses end for that session, and still be able to do something even though caucuses aren't in session at the time.
Colazo.
I see in the sponsors, it's stated that Air Force RTC is a sponsor. Is it Air Force RTC as a whole, or the colonel, the commander in charge of Air Force RTC?
It's Air Force ROTC as a whole. So when they filled these out, I sent them an email explaining what a sponsor is. And I did request that they speak to their entire RSO, or at least the members on the board, before they replied back to me. So I'm just assuming that they did that part, because everyone, it kind of took them like a week or two to reply back. It wasn't very instantaneously. So I'm just hoping that they took those measures that I asked them to.
All right, we have about 6 minutes remaining. Benwick,
Move to debate.
do you have a question? Do you retract? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, so when you talk to like professors, so just so I'm clear, so when you observe something as a holiday, does that mean that like because you say like no longer have classes versus campus being closed, so like on UCF holidays, or campus is always closed, or does it defer, or like how does that work?
Yeah, so on UCF holidays, we are closed. So like July 4th, the whole campus is closed. This just past holiday, Memorial Day, I think it was. I'm sorry, Veterans Day. The whole campus is closed. So when you're like a faculty member, typically when you're a faculty, you're usually like salaried. So you just kind of get like, a set amount. But when you're paid hourly, so like if you work at like the Steak and Shake or something like that, if the student union is closed, you're not going to get paid for that day.
Colazo?
Just to further clarify, did you personally receive like any confirmation from the Air Force ROTC commander that you have the entire support of the Air Force ROTC cadre?
So I emailed their official email, and I did get a response saying that they wanted to be a sponsor. So I don't have anything personally, because I did not meet all these like sponsors in person, but I emailed their official emails, and I did get an official email back.
You have a follow-up? Go ahead.
Do you mind forwarding me that email?
Yeah, so I was just gonna ask, so so when the resolution's like advocating for it to be a UCF holiday, like do you foresee anyone kind of having a technical issue with like that we're just asking to suspend classes? Like, did you want to try and make it? I don't know if like there's certain UCF holidays where it's just classes suspended. I'm not sure how that whole thing works, but I just want to make sure that we're advocating like, for one set thing.
Currently, I don't know of any like UCF holidays that are with the closed campus, that are just classes suspended. But I didn't necessarily want to ask for the extreme. I just kind of wanted to give the provost the opportunity to decide that himself. But there are other there are other schools in Florida, because it's kind of weird, right? Like not every school in Florida celebrates Juneteenth, and not every school in Florida celebrates it the same. So I like the 29 universities, like big universities in Florida. Hold on, let me pull up my proposal because I have the numbers on there. So out of the 29 colleges in Florida, only 11 celebrate Juneteenth, and 8 of them close campus and 3 of them suspend classes. So it's not one way to do it or the other. So when I was talking to Dr. Guzman, she said that it would just be like best if we just went for the closed classes.
Lippner?
I think it's worth noting, and I'm just going to ask if you were aware of this, Senator Johnson, that on days where we close holidays, things like Labor Day, Veterans Day, and then also Christmas, full-time employees get a maximum of 8 hours paid leave. Were you aware of that? And would you be interested in getting that for Juneteenth if we close campus?
I was not aware of that, but honestly, I'm treading very lightly here, and I want to leave that up to the provost and the faculty senate that specifically work with the academic calendar. So if that's something they're open to, then I would like them to make that decision, but I don't want to make that decision.
Go ahead.
And I guess, and again, it personally with this bill, I think it's better to kind of start low rather than offering the extreme or saying we want the extreme, and then they just say no. If they want to build upon it, like by having the entire campus closed, then that we're leaving it up to them, you know, to start it down here with just a suspension of class, especially since that's what Dr. Guzman said that should be the case. I think that allows an opportunity for them to build upon it.
Oh.
Just got a quick point of information because I was when I was speaker 2 years ago, I was on all the committees or all the caucuses, so that included the Black Caucus. When it was pushed 2 years ago, the reason why we're not pushing for a school closure, I think Chair Johnson's being very kind in the reality that the university does not want another holiday. But that's just the reality. That was the reality then, because the university can only be closed for a certain amount of days in the year. And the fact that the state of Florida doesn't recognize Juneteenth as a state holiday already kind of complicates it. And why kind of there's scattershot campuses that have different things. I would assume Dr. Guzman is just being honest of that is a far more palatable option for the university to pursue, as well as an option that still allows those wishing to participate, as well as those that are just going to use the day for whatever they may be using it for, to have the option and that flexibility without that concern of school. But yeah, just from the historical side of it, it's because the university will not make it a holiday. They're not going to, just objectively. They haven't, they're not going to do it now.
All right, question time is almost elapsed. Banesh.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. One more question. Okay, go ahead.
Would you be open to adding clarification that this is for the 2026 summer and not the 2025 summer in this bill?
Sorry, your question was why for 2026 and not 2025?
Would you be open to adding clarification that it's for 2026? I understand why.
Yeah, so yeah, we totally could add it. I added that in my proposal just because in the past bills we haven't added a specific deadline, but I would be open to adding it.
Banesh.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. Do Morissette, Metellus, Banesh.
Yeah, I'll be voting in favor. It always saddened me that the state of Florida doesn't recognize Juneteenth as a state holiday, but I'm glad other universities see the importance, and I would love to add UCF to that list. Chair Johnson has done a great job in doing so. I've seen her work. I'm CC'd on all the emails, and they go back and forth. So seeing her do it and bring an update to Senate, both and Black Caucus every single week is very inspiring. So I hope you all vote in favor as well.
Metellus.
Senator Johnson has been working so hard on this very, very, very important bill. And I think passing it today will be an amazing step in the journey of making Juneteenth a UCF holiday, a journey that has been taken for years. And this is basically the furthest and most data and research that has ever been put towards this initiative. And I think this, I guess basically third time that we've tried this will be, third time the charm, and we can actually see this happen. So I encourage you guys all to vote in favor.
Banesh.
Yeah, similarly to the other two, I'll be voting in favor. Our neighbors on the I-4 literally have this holiday off. So it's like, are we really going to let the Bulls one up us? I'm just playing. But I find it really important that we highlight such an important and pivotal moment in U.S. history and for Black people in general. So yeah, I'll be voting in favor.
Okay. I see an amendment on be it further resolved. Johnson, looks like yours.
I lied. Actually, it is. Can we see it as a friendly? I just forgot she had a title.
It's not. Okay. I'll see it as a technical. Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak in debate? Palazzo.
Motion to see my amendment.
There's been a motion to see
It's in sponsors and sponsorships.
Oh, I don't think those don't have to be an amendment for sponsors.
So technically, are they technicals then?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, pretty much. But tell us.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 35 to 0 to 1, Resolution 5611 passes on second reading. I wanted to see this on third too as well. Colosso.
Motion to see resolution 5611 on third reading.
There's been a motion to see Resolution 5611 on third reading. Are there any objections? Seeing none, is there a motion to go back to notice of legislation on third reading? Any objections? All right, seeing none, Resolution 5611, whenever you're ready.
Same as before.
We're now in line for questioning. Courts,
Move to debate.
there's been a motion to debate. Are there any objections? You object? No. Okay. All right, seeing none, we're now in debate. Anyone wishing to speak in debate? I'll do Metellus Lipner.
May I retain?
You may.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures.
I'm sorry, you want me to vote?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, with the vote count of 34 to 0 to 2, Resolution 5611 passes on third reading. Varela.
Motion for a 1 hour recess.
There's been a motion for a 1 hour recess. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, I recess this meeting at 8:53 p.m. We will reconvene at 9:53 p.m.
1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2.
What did you do?
The volume, I just like slightly adjusted it.
Which way?
Well, I was gonna have you speak into it first to figure out what, like.
You said you adjusted it. Like, did you turn it up? Did you
I
turn
turned it up
down?
slightly, but I wanted to see if you could speak into it just to see if that does anything.
Well, now that it's on, the moment I turn it up any, it starts peaking.
Oh, ew. That's not great.
No.
Is that a lead key, by the way?
What?
Is that
No, that's just in the closet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's two of them. One's hung up, one is.
Okay, good to know.
All right. I reconvene this meeting at 10:01 p.m. Is there a motion to move back to internal committee reports? Any objections? Seeing none, ENA Committee Chair DeCara.
We saw one confirmation. Victor Dantas for College of Nursing seat 2. Committee vote was 6-0-1, and then we'll be seeing the first meeting of spring as he wasn't able to attend tonight. Additionally, ENA voted on issuing 2 non-compliances for both Commissioner seat 4, Anisha Nayak, and then Commissioner seat 6, Max Kuzatov, for violation of Title 6, Chapter 601.4, Section V. Or whatever, is just to basically, I put it right there, is shall attend one elections and appointments committee meeting during the fall and spring semesters. But yeah, that's it.
Any questions? Green.
So what you're saying is the College of Nursing won't be getting a new senator for Christmas.
Unfortunately, as like a Grinch would be, you are not getting one.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none, GAP Committee Chair Vasquez.
Hi, everyone. Today in GAP, we discussed legislation that's been introduced in the state legislature the past 2 days, recapped on how to read bills, and reviewed the legislative priority qualtrics survey in depth and discussed topics that we want to put on it and how we're phrasing the questions. Additionally, the survey will be completed by the time we get back from the break, so we'll focus on pushing it out to people and have a lot of people fill it out. Also, if you weren't able to attend GAP today, please fill out the when to meet, or else I will be sending it to you individually for our spring meeting time.
Any questions, Corelli?
The when to meet link doesn't work.
Awesome, I'll relink it.
Any further questions, Banesh?
Just something of note for caucus chairs. I was talking to Supervisor Brown, and he would prefer it if you guys would put your when to meets in the like general student government channel as well, so that, you know, caucus are branch wide for all branches, and it's going to be hard for the other branch people to access it, he said. So if you're able to, put those in general. Thank you.
Metellus.
I mean, I see your point, but I also do feel like these when to meets are for people who are like already caucus members. You know, it can get very complicated if everybody's doing them just because they want to, you know, have a time that works for them. But that's just my opinion.
Banesh.
And yes, I understand that, but I don't know. Some people don't have access. It's a whole thing. So.
Okay. Varela. Okay. Yeah. Any questions for Vasquez? Okay, seeing none, LJR Committee Chair Quartz.
Hello, Senate. Last meeting of the semester, meaning your absence is reset back to 0 for the upcoming spring semester. I'm very pleased with how all of you have been keeping track of all of your absences. Haven't had to send any emails, anything like that. Just please in the future, make sure you are attaching documentation to your requests. I hate having to ask after the fact. We saw the election commissioner seat number 4 for noncompliance of Title 6, section, 601.4 section V, and the LJR committee has decided with a vote count of 4-0-2 to invoke penal action requiring the commissioner to attend one ENA committee meeting before being allowed to continue their election commissioner duties. We also saw 9 absences: Weiderberg, Corelli, Hashimi, Ravi, and Naguib all approved 4-0-2. DeCara and Trejo Hernandez approved 5-0-1, and then Chauhan denied 1-4-1. That's it.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, SBA Committee Chair Hamid.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're all having a great week. So this week in SBA, we saw Resolution 5611 and Proclamation 5624, both of which passed on first reading. Also this week, we tabled for ASF, and we were able to collect a lot of valuable information on what students want to see funded the most. Also last Friday, we hosted our Nights Give for Good, our big donation drive in collaboration with Hearts for the Homeless. I'm extremely pleased to say that oh, bless you. I'm extremely pleased to say that last week we collected, drumroll please, guys, $700, along with many bags of clothes and food. If you've seen it in the office, there's a lot more where that came from. So we also had catering from dining services, but we had some left over, so we were able to donate that food back to the community. Thank you so much to all our volunteers who helped us throughout the event. We could not have had such a successful event without you. And thank you to everyone who donated to our cause. I'd also like to thank SBA Vice Chair Vasquez for all the time and effort that she put into the event. I'm extremely proud to see all of her work turning into something so amazing, and I hope she feels the same. Also, when to meet for SBA, looking at 10 a.m. Tuesday. If any of you guys are free at that time, maybe consider.
Any questions? All right, seeing none. Confirmations, none. Internal legislation, notice of legislation on first reading. Internal Bill 5622, updates to Title 14, establishing the Caucus Leadership Committee, Military Veterans Chair Collazo. I hereby remand to LJR. Internal Bill 5623, updates to Title 12, establishing the Executive Judicial Senate Committee, LJR Vice Chair Collazo. I hereby remand to LJR. Internal Bill 5624, updates to Title 6, allowing election commissioners to hold caucus leadership positions pro temp or set. I hereby remand to ENA. Internal Bill 5625, updates to Title 3, removal of Sergeant at Arms replacement timeline. Chair DeCara, I hereby remand to LJR. Notice of legislation on third reading, Internal Bill 5620, updates to Title 3. Gaudio, is there a motion for a 5-10-10? Any objections? All right, seeing none, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Hello, everybody. We saw this bill last week. Nothing's changed. It's more or less just patching a hole in Title III where that for an exemption for LJR reps for the SBA and ENA committees to also extend to the GAP committee. So, I yield the rest of my time for questioning.
All right, we're now in line for questioning. Are there any questions? Lipner.
May I retain?
You may.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Is there anyone wishing to speak in debate? Courts and the Ganesh.
This is great. The LJR rep position for GAP does exist. It's just like Gaudio had said, it's just patching a hole, and that's it. It's great.
May I retain?
Oh, you may.
Yeah, looks good. Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. With a vote count of 29 to 0, this Internal Bill 5620 passes on third reading. All right, we already did the resolution. Notice of legislation on second reading. Internal Bill 5621, updates to Title 8, the Finance Code. Vice Chair Varela. You have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Hey Senate, yeah, this bill is pretty simple. We've had a lot of ACE and F senator elections this session because a lot of people have been resigning, and this kind of made me wonder why we're electing into the open seat to serve on the committee when we have an alternate whose kind of job it is to serve as the ACE and F senator when one can't. So I just didn't understand why we kept bypassing them for like elevating them to like, do their job basically. And in my conversations with some of leadership, it just because it wasn't super clear like what if they could do that, and there is people didn't really want drama of like elevating somebody who shouldn't be elevated. So I thought I would go and clarify in the statutes that they can in fact be elevated. But it is the choice of that alternate in case they just want to learn or they don't have time to be a full ACE and F senator. But again, it just makes it super clear that that alternate can be elevated because that is their job, and they are going to be the most qualified person to take that seat because they have been, observing ACE and F through the whole period. I use my time.
All right, we're now in line for questioning. Are there any questions for Varela? Lipner.
What is the process to fill this seat in the event that they end up being elevated?
It'll just be the same thing we do for the open seats that now we just have an election. We just elect into the alternate seat rather than the already on the committee seat.
Any further questions? Butler.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. Is there anyone wishing to speak in debate? Petrie.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 32 to 0 to 0, Internal Bill 5621 passes on second reading. All right. Yeah.
What motion have to make the scene on third reading so we can like wrap it up for the semester?
Is there a motion to see it on third reading?
Motion to see Internal Bill 5621 on third reading.
There's been a motion to see Internal Bill 5621 on third reading. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to move back to notice of legislation on third reading? Any objections? Seeing none, notice of legislation on third reading. Internal Bill 5621 updates to Title 8, the Finance Code. You have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Nothing's changed in 30 seconds. Thank you. I give my time.
All right, we're now in line for questioning courts.
Move to. Never mind.
Okay, Collazo.
Can you explain your thought process in regards to why they should be elevated instead of just changing the seat to be a permanent voting seat?
Clarify the question. You're asking why I'm not making the alternate like a fourth seat? Just because, I mean, I don't know the precedent for that. Is adding another seat to ASNF to me just makes more sense. Like for this specific intention of the bill, I'm not trying to change ASNF. I'm just trying to make it so the alternate can take that vacated seat if necessary. Because that is kind of their job. I just find it strange that we kept bypassing them for that and letting into the open seat. But this bill is not meant to like change how ASNF works at all.
Any further questions? Courts.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. Anyone wishing to speak in debate? Lipner.
May I return?
You may.
Yeah, this all makes sense to me. I think it's good to have this clarification, and I'm sure, or I hope that the alternate is glad to see this happening, and I urge you all to vote in favor. With that, move to vote.
All right, there's been a motion to vote. Any objections? Seeing none, we're in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 33 to 0 to 0, Internal Bill 5621 passes on third reading. All right, notice of legislation on second reading, Proclamation 5624, proclamation recognizing December 18th as World Arabic Language Day. Chair Al-Quda, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Thank you. This proclamation recognizes December 18th as World Arabic Language Day. As stated in the proclamation, this day was first recognized by the United Nations in 1973, as Arabic is the 6th official language of the organization and spoken by over 400 million native speakers across the globe. Being brand new this year, the Arab Caucus has been working diligently to establish connections within the Arab community at UCF and beyond, which has been our main focus of the semester. In collaboration with the APIA Caucus, we hosted our tea time tabling event in the Student Union Atrium on October 16th, where we were able to reach hundreds of students. Like I mentioned in my announcements today, I actually attended an event hosted by the senior coordinator for the Middle East and North Africa with UCF Global. So that's just one example of a great connection that we built that we definitely will be utilizing next semester. And while there are not any specific events to coincide with this proclamation, World Arabic Language Day is a significant recognition to celebrate and promote the linguistic and cultural diversity of the Arabic-speaking world, aligning directly with main goals of the caucus and the aim of future tabling initiatives and events. And with that, I yield the rest of my time to questioning.
All right, we're now in line for questioning. Are there any questions for Chair Al-Quda? Benwick.
Similarly, question with the Juneteenth question, do you plan to do any like events that day, like that would honor that day on campus? I know campuses usually close in December for that.
So like I mentioned, I won't be hosting any specific events to coincide on that day, but this proclamation represents a lot of goals that the caucus does have just in promoting the Arabic speaking culture and world, and we will be doing a lot more tabling next semester.
Lipner,
Move to debate.
there's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. Anyone wishing to speak in debate? Benesh and then Collazo. Okay, Collazo.
I will be voting in favor for this proclamation. I think honestly it's a really unique proclamation. I don't think we've seen like a language day proclamation in this session before. I may be mistaken, but I just think it's really cool. I think language in itself is really cool. I think being bilingual, trilingual, all those kind of fun things is cool. And I think it's really important to recognize that, especially when we have like a large population of individuals who do speak Arabic on campus, and it's important to recognize that. And with that, I move to vote.
All right, there's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with the vote count of 32 to 0 to 1, Proclamation 5624 passes on second reading. All right, Senate Forum. I think Hall is up first.
Yeah, so hey everybody. So I just wanted to kind of preface to everybody that unfortunately this will likely be one of the last meetings I will be here in attendance. As I start my second year into grad, kind of got to lock in a little bit. Semester was a little tough, but I just wanted to reflect for a moment. I've seen a lot in this chamber for multiple years, and I've definitely seen the best of it, and I've seen the worst. For all the horrible or meh things that have happened this semester, you all did not experience my first summer in student government that involved potential legal problems, involved multiple people in leadership being removed for different reasons. At one point, the speaker had to check their office for bugs because they feared the pro temp was spying on them. Point being, at that time, I was a new senator that I started my senior year. And when I came in, very wide-eyed, very bright like everybody else, it quickly became reality that that's not always the case. That summer was probably one of the worst times for me personally, particularly because I was the GAP chair, so I was paid to be here. So I had to be here. And when I tell you that the oppressive energy that I experienced then was brutal is an understatement. When you walked into that office, no branch wanted to talk to each other. President at the time wanted to resign at one point over confirmation battles. And just broadly speaking, we were losing people every week for different reasons. In particular, the one primary overarching reason was how toxic it had become. Now, at the end of that summer, I was able to be elected speaker for the remainder of that time, and I'd like to think that it improved under me and my pro temp, Nick Foster, who's great. But I say all this to say that inviting that kind of negativity, especially when the conversations have not been thorough, that there's a lack of grace, a lack of faith in one another, you don't understand that, yes, it can impact the people immediately involved in those situations, but it impacts all of us. It impacts all of Senate, it impacts the rest of student government, and it impacts our ability to treat students as effectively as possible. Everything we do, and something that's important to mention, is everything we do is public at the end of the day, that people can watch this live stream, people can hear about it. Trust me, I don't know who's on that Reddit, but they learn stuff real fast. But point being that ultimately you all are the stewards of this Senate to determine the course of the remainder of this year. To see, as we enter the spring, as you guys have your SLCers that are going to be excited to be here, that you have an opportunity to really present what Senate can be and what it should be. A collaborative body, a body that understands that when you come together to try to fight for issues that matter. I'm thinking of Chair Johnson's Juneteenth proclamation in particular, of seeing these initiatives from communities that you may not be immediately connected to, but you are learning and growing with them. That's critical. That's critical to your leadership and your ability to grow as a leader, regardless of who you are. That the ultimate takeaway from student government, yes, it's great in the time that you're here at UCF. And, if you're here 4 years, awesome. If you're there for 1 year like I was, awesome. Point being that this is an opportunity, yes, to serve UCF, but it's an opportunity to grow as a leader and understand that ultimately we are all in this together. Ultimately, we need to understand that having grace with each other is very important. But more particularly, heavy is the head that wears the crown. That being speaker is a difficult job. Trust me, I don't envy anybody else that took it before or after me. That it's being a manager, but it's also, people would joke that I was their therapist, but it was also just in reinvesting into the people that are here. There's a lot of people in here that are juniors and seniors. That's awesome. There are a lot of, for the first time in a long time, freshmen in here, as well as sophomores, that this is the time to invest in those leaders, because they are the future of student government, but not just student government, but UCF as a whole. They will go to other agencies and do other things. I think our supervisor is a good example of that. Great that he's come back, but I know you did a lot of other things with other agencies, things like that. Point being, I know they also started with SGLC. So I know that leadership experience began there and they grew from it. And it's great to see them thrive, as well as many of you that, I met 2 years ago when they were in SGLC, and then some of you that did SGLC last year, and even ones that haven't. I think just ultimately you guys have the opportunity to really finish as strong as possible. This session is a good session for whatever nitpicks that may exist or temporary frustrations. Nothing pales in comparison to a former chair getting arrested. So the point being that ultimately solving the problems that you guys may have with one another comes from dialogue, comes from communication, comes from self-reflection, understanding that if one is going to cast a stone, to look inward at themselves before doing so. Because oftentimes you will find that when you don't want to show grace to some, don't expect grace to be shown to yourself. That you give out everything that you get, and that at the end of the day, I'm thankful to have been able to return for the time that I have been able to. Obviously, to meet a lot of you guys, get to know some of you more intimately, just as growing in friendship and whatnot. But overall, I just want to say that you all are a great group. I think there's a lot of potential here. And I would hope that as you move forward into the spring and beyond, that you continue to recognize that and continue to see that at the end of the day, you all have to be there for each other. This job can be tough. You're here till midnight. When I was speaker, it was midnight every single week. Sometimes we didn't even get through everything. And it went to old business that we had to see the next week. But we still did it. We had the special sessions when we needed to. We had Senate exec where we would approve fiscal legislation that needed to be seen, or fiscal allocations in that case. That the work is what ultimately matters. And the way that you do that work as efficiently as possible is you communicate. I could not have been an effective speaker if I didn't have a great team around me, not just the pro temp's office and my own deputies, but I had a Senate leadership, a Senate executive board that was able to kind of meet that moment. And when they had issues and they had concerns, they brought those up to me. Sometimes we may have had disagreements of opinion, but ultimately we respected where each side was coming from, and we didn't come in, assuming the absolute worst of them. I had definitely direct challenges. There was a chair that I had to remove from a position due to questionable behavior. But ultimately, that was my responsibility because I knew that that was what was best for student government. And so for what was an unfortunate incident in that specific case, I can point to about a dozen, if not 100 examples of where I got to learn and grow myself, if not invest in the people I was working with, let alone them being the leadership. And I saw many of them continue in student government. They ended up being in the cabinet last year and whatnot. But I also built lifetime bonds with a lot of them. At least I would hope that I did. And I would not have been able to be a successful speaker without a great team behind me, a team that would check me when necessary, but would also understand where I'm coming from, have that grace and understanding of what actually matters here, because they knew that I would show grace to them when they were dealing with whatever problem it might be. And trust me, everyone has their issues, everyone has their problems. But point being that I think it just boils down to, we're here because we love UCF. I'm working here now full time because I love UCF. That this is a unique school, a unique opportunity, and a unique time, and a troubling time. And a lot of students on campus are very scared of the future. And student government allows an opportunity. I think that Juneteenth proclamation is a perfect example of that, of fighting to make this campus a better place for everybody, to make sure that everyone is represented properly, and that we actually try to collaborate with each other, that we bring attention to the fact that there's probably a lot of administrators who don't understand the importance of Juneteenth, that they don't connect to that. I would argue when I initially knew about it, I didn't really know too much about it. But we have this opportunity to educate ourselves, to grow. And obviously that's one example, but that's one example of hundreds, if not the ones that we've already seen this year. So just to kind of end all that, I've appreciated my time with you all. I may be here the first or second meeting of the spring, but overall, I just want you all to know that the time that I've had here has been able to help me improve how I viewed student government by the end of it. And I see the potential in so many of you. Some of you that have written bills, proclamations, some of you that have just spoken up, that have debated, that have even just made a motion, just a motion that we all were going to make anyways, but are feeling that sense of, I can speak my mind. And I think that that's what we're ultimately here for. And I hope that you guys continue that as you go into the spring. And then, some of you will graduate, some of you will continue in student government, but that you continue to bring that energy. Because if you want to see a culture change, it starts with us and it ends with us. That's the only people that can do that. And that I hope that you guys continue on this positive trajectory and that you guys have a good rest of your year. So thank you all for inviting me in to your space, allowing me to be here the 2 semesters that I have been. And I do appreciate all of you for the work that you do. Thank you.
All right, Lazo.
Firstly, I do want to say, make sure to put your caucuses, caucus leadership, put your when to meets in general chat in case non-senators do want to join. They don't really have the opportunity for just sharing it in Senate. But on top of that, I kind of wanted to elaborate on some of the points just previously made. And I'm going to keep it a lot shorter, but I do want to prioritize a couple of things. Firstly, that live stream is important and our reputation is equally as important. So I want you guys to think about that. I want you to think about that long and hard. We do have a really long break coming up. So I want you all to think about what is said on this live stream and the toxicity that is sometimes thrown even when knowing that the live stream is on. And the things that are muttered under our breath that we think might just help our argument, that is not the energy that we want to bring as a Senate body. On the comment of the work and the effect that we have as legislative and as Senate, we are the student body branch. We are the representatives of the student body, of 1,000 people in our colleges, of 1,000 people who are studying like us and have the same issues as us. And I want you all to understand that what we do and what we do in this chamber is not just the legislation. It's also protecting their student body and protecting their need, putting the people that are going to do the best thing. We have to put those people forward. And I understand the comments on grace, but grace can fall on a fine line about what gets out of hand, what spirals, what is better for the health of the body. And there have been issues in the past. Senator Hall just mentioned that. I know that was a controversial session, but I really want us to think about in the past, what have we learned from that? And truly think, what is it that we want from Senate? What is it that we want for our future? How do we want to grow as a body? We're the biggest body, but how do we keep it the biggest and the best body? Look around at what we've been going through as a body, whether you're in caucus leadership, whether you're just a committee leader, whether you're a freshman, which kudos to all of the freshmen who are joining. I want you all to think really long about what it is that you want to represent as a member of Senate. When you say, I'm a senator for whatever college, I want you to be proud of that. And I want you to stand by that. So that's all I have to say.
Kawaza.
First of all, I think Senator Hall deserves a round of applause because I think I do think that it takes a great humility to come back, being the branch head and coming back, and he's been such a valuable resource to like all of us, especially those who've known him for a very long time. Like I was in SJLC when he was a Senate president, and to see how he managed meetings, and I can definitely say that we definitely had a better session than what former Senate President Hall experienced. But I do kind of want to like reflect on kind of this session, especially as someone coming from another member of another branch. In my position as a justice, I was limited on what I could discuss because of impartiality and things. So I think that we should be like a little bit grateful on that we are given this platform to use to voice our concerns, because I didn't have the ability to do that just because it could cause some conflicts of interest. It could cause like unbiasedness, or I could be seen as partiality. So I just want to say that like, even though like our meetings have been running long all the way to midnight, honestly, very proud of you guys for using your voices and to raising your concerns, even over like some money issues on physical bills or internal legislation that we don't necessarily agree with, because it could be seen as over legislation. So I just want us to come back during the spring semester and be like really proud of ourselves, because I would say that this is a very active session, I would say. So pound the back, y'all. So, but yeah.
Johnson.
That's really all I had to say. This academic session was really hard working on that resolution. So I guess also just for my mom's sake, shout out Mommy. Thank you for all your help. You were really my therapist. Also, shout out Papa. I called you all the time. And last but not least, shout out Adam in the back. I really appreciate you talking me down from all of my panic attacks and things like that. And just thank you for all of your support.
Anyone else wishing to speak? Anyone else wishing? All right. I'll pop in and just kind of piggyback off of all of that. Oh, were you trying to speak? Go ahead.
All right. Hello, my name is Hunter Thoss. I loved everyone's speeches. I felt little heartstrings being pulled. Senator Bell. Oh, I really like. I'm so sorry. I really liked your speech. It made me feel motivational. With Senate, I guess I don't know, to give my 2 cents. I think as a Senate body, I think our objective is to lead with conviction and to just make sure people don't worry about what's going on, that they're safe, their ease of mind. And I think that's the main objective. I think just to lead and give people easement in their mind. So yeah, bye-bye.
Richmond.
I feel like this deserves a shout out. That's not a senator shout out. Senator Athlahaj, right, is graduating, and I feel like we did not give her the credit.
So is Hashmi.
Oh, shout out Hashmi too. Is she here?
She's gone.
Oh, well, she doesn't get the shout out that Senator Athlahaj does. Yeah. So let's clap.
That reminds me, I have stoles. And who is anyone else graduating? Just Altaj. Okay. Well, I have stoles in my office, so yeah. Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak? Okay. Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of everyone too. I think in terms of serving students, I have loved being, that's honestly part of the reason why I asked to be CC'd on all of your emails for any initiatives was because I just love seeing the updates, especially I know Johnson, you're just kind of the one that's at like the forefront, but a lot of you guys, and then Banesh too, you've had good progress from what I've seen. There's a million others, but those two in specific where people are getting emails back and forth. I call it like lurking in the shadows. I'm always lurking in the shadows, looking through the committee minutes, everything like that. In terms of serving students, I think we've had a great session, despite going till 12 every night. It doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you. But yeah, for me in my role, it's been tricky managing a general manager type role while also having this gray area of being impartial. And I know it's hard to relate to, and there's really no one else who I can necessarily like go to about it. Maybe Senator Hall, and then also my most recent predecessor. It's an interesting gray area of how to navigate that. So thank you guys for bearing with me through that. But yeah, that's it for me. I'll still be around over the holidays. I'll be doing ANSF budget stuff. So yeah, if anyone needs anything, please let me know. But I'm really proud of all of you this session. I know we had some really interesting moments throughout, not to name any specific ones. I think we can all imagine there's been some interesting moments here, but we powered through. And I think while, again, there are comments about how sometimes it can feel like you can't say stuff, like we really are like a strong group of people. Everyone here holds a lot of conviction to their opinions. And honestly, that's a good thing. And that's, I think when people say, I often get asked, like, what's your favorite part about being a speaker? I think it's like hearing the debate, honestly. Like, it's just seeing everyone else's opinions and then just seeing all that play out. That's kind of what we're all about here. So yeah, I'm just really proud of everyone this semester, and we'll circle back in the spring. All right, anyone else wishing to speak in Senate forum? All right, Senate deliberations. Anyone wishing to deliberate anything? All right, miscellaneous business. Oh, advisors report. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I think we should, end of the semester.
Two senator shout outs. Who wants to kick us off? Okay, Banesh.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I would have yelled. Y'all know my voice is loud, but I just want to say shout out to everybody. Like, we've all done such great work, and I really mess with y'all.
Obviously, shout out Andrea. Amazing work with the donation drive. Give her a round of applause. I fear she hates compliments, but I have to compliment her. It was honestly, last year we made 500. This year we made 700. We're on the up and up, guys. But also, shout out to all of you guys. Obviously, thank you for bearing with everything that Senate has to entail, especially if you're completely brand new. You kind of just get thrown in. Obviously, shout out to SBA, best committee, top 7 committees in Senate. And I guess shout out Gap. Sorry, I'm leaving you guys, but I guess shout out Gap. Gap mentioned.
Yeah. I'm skipping the line here. I at some point I did. That's fine though. Just big shout out to all of Senate leadership. You guys have been doing wonderful all this semester and the summer semester as well. Just by name, Speaker Pullman, Pro Temp Morissette, D. Serlazo, D. Leg Butler, ILR Alcuda, and ELA Richmond, excuse me. Just big shout out to you all. The work you do behind the scenes and in Senate goes a long way. So thank you guys.
A big shout out to Chair Johnson. It goes without saying how much of a hard worker she is. And Black Caucus is very grateful to all of the work that you put in to that initiative. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And then also shout out to all of us. We have all worked very hard these past few semesters with this session. And honestly, everybody give themselves a pat on the back. Like, we all deserve it. And I hope that we all go into this holiday season and have a safe holiday, a safe, positive holiday. I don't know if you guys you guys can contact me on Teams if you need anything. Like not my door, but I guess my phone is always open. And yeah, I want to be, a voice or a listening ear for each and every one of you. But yeah, that's all for me.
I just real quick want to shout out my mentee. What's her name? Oh, Kirsten. I'm sorry. It was gonna be really sentimental, but I'm just so sad. I've really seen Kirsten grow, and I don't know what my future in Senate holds, but I know Kirsten's is bright, and I really just stayed to see Kirsten blossom because I have baby fever, and Kirsten's my mentee, so she's like my little baby. I don't know. Also, shout out to Johnson, Chair Johnson, right? Yeah, no, she texted me asking for the proposal, and then she absolutely killed it. She did spell Juneteenth wrong, so I did save her there. Forgot an E, but it's going to the provost spelled right because she asked for help. Everyone should do that.
Okay, so I do have to shout Laurel out back because I don't think you guys know, but like she was my first mentor for SGLC last year, and like as my mentor, like she got me hooked on Senate right away. But also really big shout out to the entirety of the LJR committee because that was our first non-compliance seeing this entire session, and we didn't really have much to go off of because of certain circumstances. So I'm really proud of how the committee all had their discussion and came to a very good, conclusion. So I'm very proud of everyone. Me.
Yeah, I just want to shout out Hall, Hashim, even though she's in here, and Altahaj for all they've contributed to our body. I know we're all going to really miss them, especially Hall and his rousing speeches. So yeah, no, I just want to give one last shout out to them because they definitely deserve it. And, I always say, once a senator, you're always a senator. So yeah, we'll miss you.
Sherman over there for toughing it out through his last advanced math course with the major shift. Good on him. You're going to make it through. Quartz for being a phenomenal LJR chair. Collazo for being a phenomenal LJR vice chair. The best minutes, the greatest minutes you've ever seen. Thank you.
Yeah, just one final shout out to DeCara for going through all that judicial stuff. It was definitely a battle, but we're done, so that's nice. Now we just gotta wait to see what happened. But congrats for going through it.
Sorry, I just realized no one said out Brody yet, and that's horrible. We need to shout out Brody because he's a great person and he has a great family that he's with right now. So good for him.
Just go ahead. Do you not know my name? Shout out to all the new senators. I don't think there's one new senator in this body that hasn't spoken yet or has somehow gotten involved. And I think that's amazing because typically new senators are one of the harder ones and have a high turnover. But I am gracious that all you guys are here and have involved yourself in some sort of way because it shows that you want to be here and you're glad to be here. But shout out to the whole body. Literally, there are so many initiatives, so many things that have been going on, so many emails, and everything that I've been seeing on the floor is backed by legislation or some type of event planning. So honestly, this body is very proactive and it's amazing to see from a leadership perspective as well. So yeah.
So I want to shout out Pro Temp Morissette. I'm going to try not to get emotional. Danny and I have known, the Pro Temp and I have known each other since SJLC. She was the Spirit Committee chair. and I was she was the spirit committee chair and I was the experience committee chair. And I want to shout her out because, she was my support system when switching branches. She was the person that I felt I could only rely on. And I am forever grateful for her constant support in that. I have no idea how much it meant to me that, because, I felt isolated from my branch members. So to know that I could count on someone who wasn't even a member of my branch, but a fellow SGLCer, it just meant a lot. So thank you.
Okay. I wanted this. Danny kind of took it, but it's really cool being the ENA chair because it's so nice to see the people when my first interaction with you was an email coming to ENA at 9 in the morning, and now seeing you all go into your positions and how you've grown, set it into different areas of UCF, and you guys have taken on your own roles so fast in such a fast-paced environment. I think we're about just around 20 or above, and it's really cool because it's I sit up here so I can see everything, and I got 2 people right here in my college. CCIE is filled. Make it in a minute. CCIE best college, but it's really cool to see. Even though you guys, some of us came in elections, but you guys saw that Instagram post and you were like, I want to get involved, and you guys came in. Some having no experience, some having some experience, but then you guys came in here full of energy and ideas, and it's really nice to see that because sometimes you don't see that in certain places. But I'm genuinely grateful for all the new senators who, submitted that Night Connect form and responded to my emails and woke up at 8:30 in the morning to come to an ENA meeting. But I'm very much grateful. And I'm grateful for all senators, but right now it's for the senators that got appointed and went through ENA because ENA loves y'all because you guys give us a purpose.
I want to shout out Motion to Score, the soccer team. We had a great game yesterday, and we have a.
Yesterday?
Was it?
No, it was Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Crazy. Great game on Tuesday, and a lot of potential for next semester. So great job, guys.
I also want to shout out Pro Temp Morissette because when I was in SGLC, I didn't really get a mentor in the fall semester that I really connected with. But when I came to SLC, I really connected with Danny, and I genuinely don't think I'd be where I am today if it was not for her support, especially through the Arab Caucus. My legislation creating the Arab Caucus, I just genuinely don't think it could have happened without her undying and endless support every single step of the way. With every question I had before I was a senator, going through that whole process, it was definitely not for the weak. And since then, she's always had my back. So similarly to Senator Collazo, she's my rock.
I wanted to shout out Speaker Pullman. I'm not a new senator. I was elected last spring, but I didn't do SGLC, so I didn't really have a formal mentor to teach me how student government works. I had done Boys State the summer in between my junior and senior year, but that was basically the extent of my legislative experience. But shortly after I was elected, just being able to walk into Allison's office at any point when she was there and just ask hey, can you explain this for me? But honestly, you were so patient and so thorough in explaining everything. I just wanted to let you know how grateful I am for that.
I feel like we've been overlooking the people from OSI. I don't know your name, but shout out you. Oh, no. What's her name? Macrina? Shout out Macrina. She's been here day in and day out, just really holding the fort down. I asked her a question. And she answered it like Brody would. So she's basically Brody 2.0. We don't even need Brody. We just need OSI.
I mean, while we're on the topic of people who helped us while we were starting out, I got appointed end of September, so kind of after all the little social groups had already started. So having Metellus and Hamid happened to be the two people next to me. Very warm, helpful people. It was wonderful. It was great. You two made it feel like, oh, hey, maybe I should be here.
Everybody's overlooking Maddie, okay? Everybody, round of applause, Maddie, because she sits here while we argue day in and day out about who knows what, typing down every little thing. And I'm just very blessed that you're here and you are able to take that. Because low-key, if I was you, I'd be like, wow, okay. And also shout out to Maddie, because the other day I was walking past her in a slump and she waved to me and I almost didn't see her. So love you, Maddie.
Motion for Comptroller Similo to speak.
There's been a motion for an outside. What's the words? For a non-committee member to speak. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none.
Y'all, I miss being a senator. Oh my gosh. I came in here and I was like, oh, senator shout outs. Like, bring me back. For the people that don't know me, you should. I've been here for a minute. Miss it, love it. I love seeing this place full. It's like so cute and fun. I feel like there's so many more bodies here than there were at this time when I was in Senate. So like this is just so crazy and I love it. But yeah, that was all I had to say. Shout out to all y'all.
I was told that your nickname is Queen Fiscal. Why is that?
Is it actually that? No, yay! Because I know everything, dude. The fiscal code is like my buddy. Like we're like this. So if you have anything that you need to know about Title VIII, I'm your girl. I got you.
Tell them what you were the chair of.
Oh yeah, I was CRT committee chair like last year and the beginning of this session. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Andrea. Shout out to my vice chair because he's pretty great. Shout out to LJ Archer Courts. Shout out Laurel for getting into law school. I'm not gonna say it. Shout out to Amanda for applying to law school. She's going through it. Shout out Gab because I love Gab. Shout out Luke Brown because he's there. Shout out Jason because I love Jason. Shout out everyone who helped me last week at the donation drive. That was awesome. JC, Lim, and Cameron, you guys were amazing. And shout out all the SGLCers who are also there to help. Shout out new senators. You guys are talking and it's awesome. And I love to hear it. And that's it.
All right, hello. I got some shout outs. Bobby, Zach, Ryan, Lipner, Colin. Oh, he's not here. Adam's not here. Dang. You guys have been super nice to me. I love y'all. Okay, yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.
I feel like now I need to shout out Senator Thoss for always bringing his goofy energy. He's also been a cool person to be able to talk to. We met each other in a class last year and just so happened to both apply to be a senator. So we kind of bonded over that, came into this at the same time, and it's been a pretty cool experience.
I would just like to shout out each and every one of you for making my transition into Senate like so amazing, and everyone always being so helpful, and just always being there for like literally anything and everything. This so far has been such a great experience. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I knew a little bit, but not the most. But I really appreciate like all the work that everyone puts in, because it's just so like motivating for myself, just to like see what good can happen with the school and with, you know, the Senate body. So I just appreciate all of you guys for, you know, being great. Thank you.
Shout out to myself, because every time I make a joke, y'all laugh, and that just makes me happy inside.
Let me run it back again. Just shout out to all of the committees, honestly. Like, I feel like we've done so much, not only like the chairs and vice chairs, but just in general. Like, guys, LJR threw an event like a few weeks ago. LJR doesn't do stuff like that. So I guess shout out me again, you know? Oh, and Andrew. Shout out Andrew. Yeah.
First of all, Andrew Halima, I don't like being emotional, so thank you, but no thank you. But thank you. Second of all, I like how we're all saying like all these stories as if we're all graduating. I just find that kind of funny. Third of all, shout out to my office, because genuinely, I don't care if there was 2 weeks left, a week left. If you guys like left for whatever reason, I'm reappointing your position, because I could not live without my deputies. You guys are like my rock. If I need help, I text you. If I need somebody to take over for me in a committee, I text you. Like literally, I couldn't function without you, so left my office.
I'm gonna say it. I want to shout out everyone applying to law school. My advice is take it as unserious as you can. I applied to Wash U. It's a top 16 law school. It's number 16. So I did my interview today, and I told them if you're juiceless, you're useless, because they asked me like what like I live by. You're honest though. And so all I have to say is, if you're useless, you're useless, and I live by that.
Shout out to the Wash U interviewer that had to deal with that question. I hope I get him so I can reference that. But also shout out to everybody in SBA, everybody in GAP, everybody in CRT, I guess. I'm kidding. I've definitely learned to grow to love fiscal, but definitely the biggest shout out to Chair Hamid and to Chair Vasquez. Everybody give her another round of applause.
I know this is like kind of a surprise because I really don't eat that much. I don't eat sweets, but shout out Lazo for the potluck. I didn't eat a single thing, but like I respect it. But I want to shout out sustainability. It is a very much like there's caucuses and then there's no hate, but like just sustainability just functions in a different aspect. And we have taken something that we were like, what are we gonna do? And it has formed into something that is like amazing. I'm gonna say like when we had the meeting with like 12 people across UCF, and they were like, this is the first time in 10 years someone has set us all down together to talk about issues like this. I was like, okay, so we're here for something. We're doing something. And I'm just grateful that the caucus has trusted me and Lipner to lead them. I should say we're mostly honestly co-chairs. It's not chair and vice chair. It is co-chairs because we both, love this so much and we both put so much work into it and trust in spring. We will be the powerhouse caucus.
All right. Any questions for Maddie? All right. This is our last meeting without Brody. Okay, miscellaneous business. All right, elections. Okay, let me pull up I have it like a script. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Oh wait, I just tapped out of it. All right. Is there a motion to open nominations for the FAO committee? Are there any objections? Is there a motion to nominate Owen Sherman and Jason Hamid for the FAO committee? Are there any objections? Is there a motion to close nominations for the FAO committee? All right. All those who nominate Owen Sherman, say aye. All those who don't, say nay. I know I'm not using the correct verbiage, but we're just gonna go with it. All those who nominate Jason Hamid, say aye. All those who don't, say nay. Oh. All right. Okay. CRT, is there a motion to open nominations for the CRT committee? Is there a motion to nominate Kirsten Courts? Is there a nomination to close the floor for nominations? All those who nominate Kirsten Courts, say aye. All those against, say nay. All right. All right. Appointments. I hereby appoint Grace Rudy to the SBA committee. I hereby appoint Halima Al-Quda to the SBA committee. I hereby resign Kirsten Courts from the SBA committee. I hereby resign Jason from the GAP committee. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. I hereby, this is a really big day. I hereby resign, was that LJR or were you resigning from LJR or GAP? Okay, I hereby resign Halima Al-Quda from LJR. Gaudio?
What is Halima being appointed? You said SBA, but on the minutes it says GAP. Which
Oh,
one is
did
it?
I say SBA? I'm sorry. Then I hereby appoint Halima Al-Quda to the GAP committee. And if I accidentally appointed her, which I think I did by the looks I'm getting, I hereby resign Halima Al-Quda from the SBA committee.
Don't do that.
Oh, wait, I thought you wanted GAP. Wait. Oh, you're on two? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Okay, I hereby appoint Halima Al-Quda to the GAP committee and the SBA committee. And I hereby resign Halima Al-Quda from LJR. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. No, I appreciate you guys. All right, Danny's drip down, and then also Senator of the Month.
I was gonna do that first.
Okay, go ahead.
So I had this whole speech prepared and everything, and then my phone died. So we're gonna free run it, and I don't do good on improv, so bear with me. But this senator has had an unsubstantiated amount of service across different departments and different platforms here at UCF. They serve on many roles such as Night's Vote, GAP committee chair, Day at the Capitol, Legislative Priorities, tabling at downtown campuses and other satellite campuses, and more. She serves as grandmother as well to a lot of senators within this body. Her emotional intelligence and the amount of care that she takes with her role, but also to the people around her, is honestly very inspiring and motivational. She is a returning senator, and she will probably be a returning senator next year. I hope, maybe, I don't know. But yes, graduate studies, and she will continue to be a role model for a lot of the individuals within this body. If we have a guest already, I know you guys guessed, so just say it with me. Senator of the Month, the last Senator of the Month for this semester, for the month of October, is Andrea Vasquez. Your certificate is pending because I didn't print it, so you'll get it soon. Oh, and then Danny strip down. Honestly, you guys, I didn't look at you guys. Sit down. So I'll do like honorable mentions. A lot of you guys did business casual, which kind of upsets me, but that's fine. Actually, I'm gonna do first place. Actually, because I know who I'm gonna get first place. I'm gonna give it to Bobby because Bobby, you're in a full suit. Like you're doing it today. Anyone who's wearing a Santa hat gets second place because festive. Third place. I'm torn. Honorable mention. I'll give it to Laura Richmond and Amanda Lazo because I love the green, love the button up. Honorable mention to Courts and Akira because you guys were still. Oh, and Colazo because that's still Christmas. And I was gonna say something, but I don't know if it's appropriate. But like, fall, winter, Speaker Pullman as well. So honorable mentions, yay!
All right. With that, I'll take a motion. Who do I usually let do it? Ooh. Oh, she's Altahaj. Last one? No. Okay.
Motion to adjourn pending final roll call.
There's been a motion to adjourn the meeting pending final roll call. Are there any objections? All right. Seeing none, Chair Courts.
I yield to my vice chair.
Hey, y'all. All right. This is my first time, so bear with me. All right. Lazo.
Present.
Reed.
Present.
Corelli. Thos. Pentry. Lim. Morissette. Butler. Takara. Sherman. Smith. Trejo. Connolly. Gumarov. Hamid. Kaufman. Rudy. Gaudio. Metellus. Rose. Sean. Sean.
He's not here.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Hall. Okay. Altahaj. How do you pronounce that? Chauhan. Okay. Escobar. Wanjin. Johnson. Patel. Waterberg. Green. Hendry. Okuda. Benash. Condorloro. Colazo, I'm present. Okay. Courts.
Present.
Rodriguez.
Present.
Benwick. Jimenez Valero. Hashimi. Janadra. Pullman.
Here.
Renda. Richmond.
Present.
Shen. Valera. Vasquez. And Littler. All right. 38. Oh. 42, right?
51.
Oh, 51. Cause verified.
All right. I adjourn this meeting at 11:08 p.m.
Don't forget to get your stuff out of the conference room and throw it away because we don't want bugs.
Thank you. Yeah, please all help, but we need to do clean up that conference room. Everyone,